That was me the morning I inherited Mill Lake. One minute I'm standing barefoot on a cabin porch thinking, hell yeah, this is mine, 10 acres of trees, a workshop, and a silver stripe of water cutting through the pines. The next minute, a spotless white SUV looked like it was allergic to dust pulls up my driveway, and suddenly my forever peace has an HOA problem. Didn't even get 3 minutes to soak it in. Crunch of gravel, slow and smug, not a neighbor's truck, that much I could tell right away. Out steps this woman, tennis whites brighter than my grocery budget, not so much as a good morning, just scanning my property like she's mentally listing it on Zillow. Finally, she smooths her hair and flashes a smile so rehearsed it could be a legal maneuver. "You must be Jake Carter," she chirps. "I'm Bethany Crowell, president of the Silver Ridge Homeowners Association. We need to discuss the lake situation." Yeah, you know it's going to be bad when a stranger tells you what you need to discuss on your own land, no less. I keep it cool. "What situation is that?" She lifts a folder, all authority and zero substance bylaws, maps, pages with red circles like a kid's art project. Nothing legal in sight. "Mill Lake is a community amenity for Silver Ridge. She tells me all syrup and steel. We have to make sure regulations are being followed." "Ma'am, the lake's on my deed." That smile of hers never even twitched. "Your ownership is complicated," she says, like she's describing a breakup. "The community has maintained the lake for years. Usage, stewardship, shoreline coordination, shared responsibilities. I've seen bureaucratic misdirection before. Show me where you own any part of this property," I say, tapping my own deed folder, parcel number shining right there in black and white. Her smile finally cracks. "Well, we'll see what the county says when we request review." Like that, she's back in her SUV, leaving a cloud of gravel and the kind of threat that settles on you like a chill. I stand there, deed in hand. Quiet morning gone. I'm alone on the driveway, but it feels like someone's pressing against the edge of my land, testing the seams. My uncle spent decades fighting county boards and water commissions, always with the same message: protect what's yours, but do it right. Now it's my turn, and I haven't even unpacked my tools. That night I barely sleep. By dawn, things get worse. Outboard motors fire up on the lake, strangers, coolers, fishing rods, laughter like they own the place. I stomp down to my dock. "You all know this is private property, right?" I ask. A guy in a polo grins, waves his thermos, tells me he's been fishing here since '04. "Relax, we're not hurting anything." A woman on another boat cups her hands. "Talk to the HOA. You're new. You'll catch on." Catch on to what? That my inheritance is just a community playground now. I take photos time-stamped. "Not that it'll stop them, but I know how these things spiral," he said. She said, and Bethany's the type to weaponize confusion. Back at the house, I bolt up new private property signs, bright reflective paint, no room for argument. By the next morning, every sign's vanished, posts unscrewed and stacked neat as bones at the tree line. Someone's making it clear boundaries don't matter here. That's when the county sheriff shows up. Morales, a steady kind of guy, seen it all. "Bethany says you threatened her residence," he tells me, not accusing, just bored. I lay it out. I told them it was private land. That's it. He nods. Says the HOA files more complaints than anyone. "You want to keep this lake? You're going to need airtight paperwork. They'll bury you in process, old permissions, fog, confusion. Keep everything Jake. Photos, dates, conversations. You're not dealing with neighbors. You're dealing with an organization. And watch your calm folks like Bethany push until someone snaps." Days turn into a blur. Zoning officers with clipboards. Anonymous complaints about unpermitted signs that are already gone. Neighbors jogging by with phones out. Bethany's not just challenging my ownership, she's laying groundwork. Witnesses, narratives, all built to paint me as the aggressor. But you know what? She believes she already owns the lake. Which means there must be something, some paper or clause, some trick she's betting I'll never find. Soon enough, I get the certified letter intent to assert prescriptive recreational easement over Mill Lake. 20 years of use, she claims, gives them legal rights. But prescriptive easements don't just happen because you squat long enough. They need hostile, contested use. If the owner allowed access, even reluctantly, the claim falls apart. If my uncle ever gave permission, Bethany's house of cards collapses. So I hit the county courthouse basement level, air thick with dust and old secrets. Sarah Whitfield, courthouse clerk, coffee in hand, knows the routine. "Heard you stirred up a hornet's nest." I tell her about the HOA's claim. She calls it a legal suicide note. We dig me through land records, her through Silver Ridge filings. The original developer's packet is missing, the lake assignment never completed. That means the HOA never legally acquired rights to the lake ever. But the golden ticket, Sarah finds it in the Hutchkins estate records, my uncle's predecessor. A statement of limited permission from 1998, residents may use the lake for recreation permission, given reluctantly can be revoked any time. That single sentence nukes the entire prescriptive easement. My uncle, bless his quiet soul, shielded this land with the one thing a bully can't fight: clear permission on record. And the boundary map shows Mill Lake's edge never even touches the Silver Ridge HOA's property line. They never had a claim. Everything they built, events, rules, fines, stands on nothing. We copy everything: deeds, maps, permission statements. Sarah says, you have the deed. You have documented permission. She can't win this claim. But why would Bethany push a doomed case? Simple. She thought nobody would check. Back at home, I find fresh tire tracks across my lawn. Bethany isn't slowing down, she's escalating. Then in come 3 county vehicles, environmental, zoning, and building code. Allegations of septic leaks, unauthorized docks, shoreline disturbance all at once. Across the street, Bethany sits in her SUV watching. I hold my ground, demand IDs, case numbers, the source of every complaint. They fumble, not ready for someone who knows their rights. I tell them, you're being used. When they leave, it's clear this isn't about rules. It's about harassment. And I'm done playing defense. I buy trail cameras, military grade, mount them in the trees. That night I catch 3 silhouettes sneaking around with a surveyor, moving stakes, hammering new boundaries, whispering about framing me for illegal modifications. My cameras catch it all: faces, voices, timestamps. Next day, Morales comes by, another false report from Bethany claiming I threatened her board. I show him the footage. He goes silent, watches twice. Jake, this isn't just trespassing. This is fraud, boundary manipulation. That's a felony. He files the report, sends everything to the county attorney. Word gets out. Neighbors gather. Bethany tries one last gambit, shows up, accuses me of threats. This time I'm ready. Flash drive in hand, I show the sheriff and his deputy the videos, audio, every angle. Her board members start to crack, blame her for telling them to create evidence. In front of the whole neighborhood, Morales tells Bethany she's under investigation for filing false police reports, conspiracy, and trespassing. Sarah steps up, explains to the crowd the HOA never had legal authority. Their lake claims were built on a blank line, nothing more. We don't waste time. Sarah and I file an emergency petition for administrative suspension of HOA authority over Mill Lake. It's precise, devastating. Within hours, the county issues a notice: all HOA claims, rules, and enforcement actions over the lake are paused pending review. Bethany panics. Her board panics. The community splits, some furious, others relieved. The hearing comes fast. The judge, not one for drama, reviews the evidence: boundary tampering, false reports, the missing transfer file. Sarah presents the blank Schedule B, the permission statement, the footage of the board moving stakes. The judge delivers the hammer, effective immediately. The HOA loses all claims, and Bethany is referred to the prosecutor. The room is dead quiet. Some neighbors murmur, I think she finally hit the wall. Truth is, the wall hit her. After Sarah makes sure the HOA drafts a written retraction, no more claims, no more threats, public apology, full cooperation with the audit. It's accountability for once in black and white. A week later, I rebuild my dock. It's not about fishing, it's about closure. Morales stops by, tells me the prosecutor is recommending fines, community service, and Bethany's banned from ever serving on an HOA board again. She tries to sue the board, of course she does, but no one's listening. The new board, actual neighbors this time, shut down every lake-related rule. People help with repairs, treat the lake like a shared treasure. Sarah and I start a conservation group, quiet, small, but the right kind of change. Sometimes justice comes in paperwork, not headlines. Sometimes it's just the sound of wind over water, silence returned. Same lake, new rules, my rules, the right ones. And if you've ever had to stand your ground against folks who think possession means possession is 9/10 of the law, drop a justice in the comments. I know I'm not the only one who's fought this kind of fight. Got more stories of the little guy winning coming soon. Hit subscribe if you want to see what happens when ordinary people don't back down. So what do you think? Is justice just paperwork, or is it something deeper? Let's hear your stories.
Cảm ơn các bạn đã xem video.